Hello, hello, hello. All right, everybody, thank you and welcome to there. I see a lot of people standing there. There are some seats available here in the front, and if you, now would be a good moment because after that we are started and then you'll be disturbing people if you get a seat, but now is a good moment to get a seat up there. And yeah, great, almost everyone is sitting. I will wait a few more seconds until everyone is actually sitting. And in the meantime, I can already start to entertain you with a little bit of information. We're going to have some more video contributions of people who could not be here today. And the first one is by our friend Goodiepal. Vanita and I made a record with Goodiepal a few years ago, actually. And I would say Goodiepal and Vanita had an instant and very special connection, I think, because they recognized something of themselves in each other. It's hard to say, like, how do you introduce Goodiepal? What do you say? He's a musician, a performance artist, and I think I would say, like, the thing that the connection between Goodiepal and Vanita and me is that there is no distinction between life and art. Everything is one performance, and everything is as real as it gets. So are we ready? Are we ready to roll the video?
Mein Herz ist schwer, mein Ruhm ist hin. Ich finde sie nimmer und nimmer mehr.
Seh meinem Schlafenkind
Und sein
großen Schwerg
sein Kuss,
That was Vanita singing a duet with Goodiepal. That is the album that we actually recorded together a few years ago and that you can buy here, of course. And the video is something that was recently recorded by Goodiepal himself in the studio here. And Florian wants to add something to this.
Yeah, you saw a photo flashing immediately after the video. It's a photo. I made that picture, but that was their first encounter. That was when they first met. It's this very moment.
Exactly, yeah. Yeah, indeed, yeah. Next, we're going to watch a short video by another friend, Suzana Lașcu, who originally was from Romania. She studied and worked here in the Netherlands, in Rotterdam, for several years and moved on to the United States. We were fortunate, Vanita and I were fortunate to be able to collaborate a couple of times with Suzana just before she left to the US. About a little more than a year ago. One of Vanita's, again, everything is cross-referencing tonight. Again, Florian was talking about one of Vanita's very last gigs, and we played with Suzana in the Downtown Music Gallery in New York City. That is also on one of our albums, only you can't buy it here because the paper physical thing hasn't been printed yet, but the music is already online. And that album is called New York City. Now we're going to watch something that Suzana made. And it is using a text that Vanita wrote, I would say a little more than 10 years ago. And is Remco here? Is Remco still here? Yeah, so Remco might remember we did a workshop with Eugene Chadbourne. and it was a protest song workshop, and Vanita wrote a song, a protest song about something that she'd read in the news about they were auctioning the bed where Michael Jackson had died in, and this is seen from the protagonist of this story is the person who wants to buy, who absolutely wants to buy that bed and will bid whatever is necessary in order to be able to sleep in the bed, in Michael Jackson's deathbed. There's only a fragment of the actual text being used in this film, but I'm giving you a little bit of context, and actually the voice you will hear is a AI synthesis of Suzana's voice and Michael Jackson's voice. Can we roll it? And it starts silently, but there will be music soon. We are looking at cut-ups of Vanita's paintings, cut up by Suzana.
Yes, it's auction time today, and I'm gonna be the highest bidder. Yes, it's gotta be me. Gotta be me. No, it's gotta be me. Gotta be me. I'll sell my house. I'll sell my car. I'll sell my wife. I'll sell my kids. I'll sell my future. I'll sell my past. I'll sell my heaven. I'll even sell my hell. And if that's not enough, I'll sell my swimming pool and my little rubber duckies. I'll sell all the oceans and the big blubbery whales. I'll sell the sun and the moon and all the stars in the sky. I'll sell my sister's pussy and I'll sell my mother's heart. I'll sell Fortune Knox and I'll sell King Lear. I'll sell my soul and my karma credit rating. And then I'll mix all the dough with all the booze and I'll sell it all in one shot.
Als ik nu even niet adem, nu even geen adem haal. Voel ik misschien niet wat hij doet. Doet hij misschien niet wat ik voel? crash through your coat, your skirts, crash, crash, crash through your coat, your skirts. Once upon a time, there was a big blue planet that's still traveling through the universe on its way to the beginning. The color blue comes from all the water and the blanket of air that separates the planet from the universe. The planet itself is made of liquid fire covered with a thin layer of stone and soil. Deep down in the fire lives the devil, and high up in the air lives God. In the beginning they did the creating together, modeling little figures out of clay and blowing life into them, always coming up with something new to surprise each other. The devil invented sex to make God laugh, and God invented a religion to make the devil laugh. Paradise was now. Until the day they created a creature that had a word for everything. From now on, all the other creatures would be called animals, and the new creature would be called God's own image. The fire under the ground would be called hell, and the devil bad. And the air above would be called heaven, and God good. From now on, good and bad were at war, and the battlefield would be forever inside the new creature. But this creature's dream, and he loves to dream so much that he's always asleep. He grows in his sleep. Already the planet is almost completely covered with him, but he's just already. He's just goes, and he just goes on, growing and sleeping deeply, restlessly. His hands strike each other, and his feet kick each other. His brains subdue his heart. The voices in his head are always contradicting each other, and his belly can't stop eating, and it grows, and everything grows over the edges of the continents into the oceans. But his hands just go on grabbing, and his mouth can't stop chomping and gulping. One chomp, and all the dodos are gone forever. Another gulp, and he swallows all the buffaloes. He talks to phantoms who do not answer. He wallows through his own excrement and eats his own garbage. His snoring symphony drowns out every other sound. And when he turns around in bed, the crushed nations scream in minor. No matter, those who sleep don't notice a thing. God and the devil are tired of their creation. All they ever get to do together anymore is fight over a rampant growth of boring souls that force them to live according to a scripture that's all made of nothing but words. They hope the omnipresent creature will soon fall off the planet and die in the cold of the universe. The cells in the monster are sleeping so soundly. There are even a few that wake up once in a while. There aren't very many of them, and mostly they know nothing of each other's existence, since they've all lived spread out across the body. But living with open eyes is so painful, because then you see all the horror the sleep is doing with the other cells. The monster must wake up, but how? You let him crucify you while you go on loving him. Now he dreams sweeter dreams. Prayer and meditation bring him peace and quiet, and he sleeps much better. The coma is holy. The coma lives forever. The coma reincarnates from one cell into the next. So kneel and worship and don't disturb the peace and quiet, or else the blue planet is still blue. Behind the horizon, there must be more blue planets. Anyway, this creation is a miscarriage. The monster has almost grown itself to death, and it's snoring louder than ever. Its corpse is already rotting away in some places. Rotting. Standing here, I'm not so sure anymore. Going back is also a door. How many times have I stood like this before two doors? And behind each door, there's always another blind hallway leading to two more doors. In front of me, behind me, left, right, up and down, nothing but doors, towards doors. A new house, a new love, a new myth, a new me. Each time, it seems different, but it only leads deeper and deeper into itself. Why should I hope for an answer? Have I ever seen anyone walk free? Better to be ripped apart right now than to go on stumbling through this nightmare again and again. I look inside and I see that her door is not a door, but a hole with nothing behind it. A crack in the structure. Quick, inside, before it shuts again. Inside and I see her door. That is not a door but a hole with nothing behind it but a crack in the structure. Crack in the structure. Quick inside.
often wondered what this moment would be like. Will I start seeing your face in the windows at night? Will I start hearing your voice crying softly in the water pipes? Will I step over the edge of the highest bridge I can find, or just walk calmly off into the ocean? Will I simply stop breathing too? Even worse, even so much worse, will I lose you? Will I lose us in the noise and the lust and the greed and the time and the crowd? I've often wondered what this moment would be like. Now I know. Is there life after your death? Will you continue to teach me? There's so much I still have to learn. Will you marry me? Where will you be sleeping tonight? Can I sleep there too, with you? Have I become your child? I want to be you. What happened to me? And every time I ask these questions, I know you could never lie to me. And already the work is calling. There are stories to be told, music to be painted, the work. Or as you once called it, designing a new kind of humanity. Just for fun. Thank you. Thank you. I'm going to present to you the musicians, the members of tonight's edition of the Vanita Monk Orchestra. But first, I have a lot of people to thank. So I'm going to go quick because there's a lot of them. Also on behalf of Vanita, to whom I owe everything. I want to start by thanking Lucas Simonis and Mariette Groot, who have lovingly supported and believed in this project from the very start. Lucas and Mariette have also been our friends and allies at Worm for, well, since before Worm even was Worm, and we are very grateful for that. I want to say there's a lot of people to thank, so if we applaud every time, it's going to take longer. So maybe just save your applause for one big applause when I've finished thanking everyone. I want to thank Vincent Deniol, who has provided an impeccable sound, patience, commitment, and caring, and Vincent. Oh yeah, I told you not to applaud. So I forgot your name on the I forgot your name on the lights because I wrote this yesterday and I was only introduced to the person who did the projection and the lights. Guido what? Okay, well, thank you very much, Guido, for the lights and the video projection. Thanks to Davids Danos and Werner van der Zwan, who have provided a live stream for people who could not be here, and a video recording for posterity that I will use to try to get more gigs like this. Emilia Kempel, who has worked closely with me on the publicity at Worm. Kim Horweg and Dan Fogarty, the Worm production team, was also been very patient in putting up with my many requests. Matthias Carter, who has supported us personally here today. Isis Cruz and Jaitan and Dorota Matejova, who have been running the record shop today. Jorrit Westerhof, who has helped me to set up this very full stage. Linda Nijboer and Margje Ottevanger, who have been my personal assistants today, keeping an eye on my well-being. Friso van Wijck and Gonçalo Almeida, who have helped me to compose and conduct this whole thing. And now you can applaud all of these people. And finally, I want to introduce to you the members of the Vanita Monk Orchestra. And again, there's 15 of them, so maybe save your applause for it. Friso van Wijck on percussion. I'm looking at the back, and maybe Friso van Wijck on percussion. Bruno, Ferro, Xavier da Silva on bass guitar and reading. Philipp Ernsting on drums. Gonçalo Almeida on double bass. Bert den Hoed on keyboards. Linda Nijboer on electronics, Robert Kroos on electronics, Mariette Groot on electronics and reading, Josué Amador on guitar, Jorrit Westerhof also on guitar, Lucija, Gregov and Nina Hitz on cello, Florian Kramer on reading and siren, and Margje Ottevanger on vocals and reading, and I'm Johanna Monk. And